Today on the channel from Mattel, we've got WWE Legends Series 15 Chase Edition, Lex Luger, and then at the end of the video, we're going to rank the entire wave from my least favorite to my favorite.
The spirit of Ultimate Warrior will run forever!
Kyle here, and welcome back to the channel for another WWE Legends unboxing and review. And today, Target exclusive time as we take a look at Legends Series 15 Lex Luger, the Chase Edition. Then at the end of this video, we're going to rank the entire wave from my least favorite to my favorite, so stick around for that portion of the video. But as usual, for all your non-Target exclusive wrestling figure needs, make sure you're hitting up Ringside Collectibles. Use discount code Kyle to save yourself 10%. So today, Lex Luger Chase Edition here. Of course, we did unbox the regular edition on the channel. Go check that one out if you did miss it. This is the throwback WCW late 80s, early 90s version of Lex Luger. So that's a pretty cool 2-in-1 aspect. I like that a whole lot. And I was very, very lucky as I've been having a little Lex Luger anxiety lately, waiting to get this Luger, hoping to find it in stores, being shut out. But guess what? My pre-order didn't arrive, and this is what I got. I got the Chase as my pre-order. So all was right with the world. It was a great time. Very happy to have Legends Series 15 done with. Now I turn my attention to Legends 16. That should be out in, 2-3 months from now, probably 3 months. I don't know. What is time anymore? But we're going to do this review like we do all the other reviews on the channel. We're going to take a look at the packaging. We're going to talk about it. We're going to unbox it. We're going to talk about it. We're going to see where it goes from there. There's old Lex Luger. They got the later edition WCW NWO Luger pictured on the package there, of course. NWO spray paint, Lex Luger, WWF, True Effects, Legends, Series 15, all that fun stuff. On the side, really good picture of Lex over there. And on this side, the same one, WWE logo down below. Elite logo crossed out the NWO down there. And then in the back, we got the cross-sell. Like I said, we've unboxed all those guys down at the bottom and gals in Stacy's case. We've unboxed, did those reviews already. This one's the Chase, and we're going to rank them all in this very video. You got the blurb, you got the Lex Luger, you got the Lex Luger glamour shot. So let's see what it says about old Lex Luger here. Titles: WCW Heavyweight Champion, WCW United States Champion, WCW Tag Team Champion. When the Total Package started his career in WCW, everyone knew he was a force to be reckoned with. He rode with the Four Horsemen, battled the best in the world, and captured numerous championships. Later, his battles with the NWO led him to walking with the Wolfpack, cementing his legacy as a franchise player and a cornerstone of WCW. And one of the great questions I've always had on Lex Luger, and we've talked about this before on the channel, is how would we have thought of Lex Luger all these years later if he wore face paint back in the day? He was a jacked up dude, as we all know, much like Sting, the Ultimate Warrior, Road Warriors, a lot of those guys. What if he came in wearing face paint? What would that have done for his career? Would it have been a better career, a worse career? I, for one, probably would have liked Lex Luger a little bit more if he had face paint. I don't know. It's always one of those things I've always kind of wondered in my head. What if? We did get a Mattel Elite with him in some face paint, so I guess we kind of got an idea of what that might be like, as we did get that as a, Then Now Forever figure way back in the day. Which that one is a good custom possibility. If you wanted to pop the head off that, put this WCW head on there, you can get a black Trunks version of Lex Luger if you are so inclined to do that. So without further ado, let's get him out of the package, see what's going on here. See you later. Goodbye. There it is. Plastic prison time. All kinds of stuff. You do get an extra NWO shirt and an extra head, I guess, as well. So if that is your thing and you might need that for another character, I don't know, you could maybe figure something out. Bam! See you later, Spider-Man style. There it is. Pop these hands out, pop these heads out, all that kind of stuff. There it is. And there it is, off to the races. Bam! See you later. Now, let's talk a little bit about Chase version here. Now, one thing that is a little upsetting, you MOC collectors, you on card guys, this is a little bit confusing. Do you need this Lex Luger because it's got the wrong head on the wrong body with the wrong trunks? That is a little disappointing. I wish somehow at Mattel, in the factory, they could have swapped the heads in the package so you could actually have two different versions. That would have been really good. Obviously, that would have made costs rise, all that kind of stuff. So it probably wasn't possible, but it is kind of tough for the on card guys out there. It's not as special as it is to the unboxed people. But I do like this, and I feel that all Chase figures, I don't care if it's the regular Elite line or these Legends lines, they should have an alternate head. You should always have an alternate head with these. That way you can make that Chase feel just a little bit different. It's like the Eddie Guerrero in Elite 95. You got different tights, but you got the same head going on. So I'd like a little bit of difference. So Pro tip out there, Mattel, if you're watching. We do get the NWO shirt here. It is the tank top cut-off version. Red and black attack. Looks good. Don't have a use for this. Maybe we can find a use for another figure down there. Maybe there's a basic. There's something that needs dressed up with this down the road. We'll see what happens there. He does have 2 fists on him. You guys know I love fists on my figures. Recently, Eddie Guerrero came with 2 fists, and Bobby Lashley. So Mattel knows what's up with these fists as of late. We do get 2 gripping hands as well. That's a way to make these figures a little bit different, as well as heads different. You can make different hands. I'm all in on that, as you guys know as well. All right, I'm going to pop this Lex Luger head off. This is the NWO one, and I actually, out of the Luger's looks, I always preferred this one with the tight ponytail in the back. I always thought he had a really good look with this hairdo, but we're talking old school Lex Luger here, so we got to pop this head on here. We got to bring it back to the old Stan Hansen U.S. title feud days. That was probably my favorite Lex Luger era, him wrestling Stan Hansen. I thought that was just a great time. Of course, his time with the Horsemen, things like that. But man, this is old Lex Luger from back in the day for sure. Those orange trunks, very, very memorable. I think he had a pink salmon pair as well. But outside of the black, I think most people think of Lex Luger in the black trunks, or maybe you think of his Narcissist or his USS Express days, maybe. But the orange are pretty memorable, I think, if you were a kid growing up in that time. Very memorable trunks from back in the day, like I said. So very, very good. The head sculpt here, you know all day long. I think I would know this as Lex Luger. I always thought he looks kind of like an elf. I don't know why that. Ever since I was a kid, he was an elf or maybe a gnome. Maybe he should join up with old David the Gnome. If you know David the Gnome, maybe he should join with those crew. But he always had kind of an elf look to him back then. Of course, blonde-haired mullet. That was the thing back in the day. It was a very, very good look back in the day, and he was rocking it to his full potential, of course. But you definitely know this is Lex Luger. But this is a reused head, and I think we'll talk about that here in a second. Articulation-wise, let's break it down really quick. We, of course, got the ab crunch going on. Head removable, as we saw. Shoulders up, down, all around, of course. Bicep cut, double jointed, pinless elbows. We got hands that are removable. We got wrist tape going on there, painted on in white. Of course, the orange tights on. You do get the thigh cut. You do get the double jointed knees right here with the knee pads, the black knee pads. You do get the white boots, and then the ankle articulation up and down, and the boot cut as well. Looks really good. Let's pull this over here to the side. Let's put him on a ringside stand. Use discount code Kyle, like I said, save 10% on your stands at ringside. Make sure you get the WWE ones, but fits like a glove on there. Looks really good. Definitely Lex Luger, all day long Lex Luger. But let's grab this one. Maybe a little bit forgotten about. A basic Lex Luger from, I believe this is the WCW Walmart exclusive flashback wave back in the day. Of course, his iconic black tights. Trunks, I should say. But it is the exact same head sculpt. They lightened up the hair a little bit on this new one, but it is reused from that head sculpt. So it wasn't a really hard switch for Mattel to make this happen. They already had the young head sculpt. They just had to put it over into this. Painted it a little different, and you're off to the races. So if you didn't know about this one, well, now you do know. And of course, we got the NWO version here, the yin and yang. I like the different boots too. The different boots really make a difference between these. Of course, the white boots on the old school WCW one, and the black and red boots here on the NWO one, really fitting the NWO theme. I like what I see here, though. I really do. I love WCW in this era. I loved watching it as a kid, and I fondly remember this era of Lex Luger, so this is a good one here in the set for sure. I love the 2-in-1 aspect, the 2-in-1 change between these. I think that's just something I would like to see repeated in the future. There's a lot of guys you could probably do something like this with, and it's great to get a deeper cut out there without wasting a spot or trying to convince a spot in some ways. It's a pretty good way to go to market. So I'm good with this. I'm glad Mattel did this, and I hope we see more of this in the future. But what say you? Are you all in on this Lex Luger? What do you think on this? Which one do you prefer between the two? And we're going to find that out next. Next up, we're going to review the line, and we're going to say from my least favorite to my favorite. All right, let's get down to business and let's rank these 5 figures from my least favorite to my favorite. As always, going to ask you guys out there in YouTube land, put your list in the comments down below. Let me know where this line netted out for you in Series 15. What was your favorite? What was your least favorite? And all points in between. So without further ado, let's kick this off. And we're going to start with number 5. And number 5 is an interesting one, but I'm going to have to go Stacy Keibler here. I like the idea of Stacy Keibler. I like her being in the line. I like that you can kind of smoke and mirrors it as a Miss Hancock. but it's just a little bit plain. It's just a little plain Jane, and the head sculpts do take away from this one. I don't think they're the greatest Stacy Keibler references represented in figure form between the two heads. I think you know who it is with the body, but without him, I don't think a lot of people would be stumped on that. I hope we get more deep cuts like this. I hope we get more Stacy Keibler figures in the future, so we'll have to stay tuned for that. But as far as this wave goes, I'm putting her in at number 5. Number 4 is going to be a little bit of a head scratcher. I think some people might think this one would be a little higher on my list, but number 4 is Kane. Now, I don't know if we're at Kane overload point at this point. A lot of pointing going on. But this Kane just didn't feel as special as some of the other ones. It just felt like kind of paint by numbers Kane. It felt very similar to ones we've had in the past. Didn't feel like a lot of difference here for us. But that being said, still a good representation of this era of Kane. I could see people wanting this. I could see people wanting the tag team title as well. He's just kind of there for me, and not as exciting as some of the Kanes of the past that we have gotten. So still nothing wrong with this figure, but he's just got to be in the line somewhere, and I'm putting him in at number 4. Now it gets a little crazy here. It gets a little crazy in these final 3. But at number 3 spot, of course, right in the middle, I'm actually going the Chase version of Lex Luger. Now, out of all these wrestlers here, out of the eras, I probably enjoyed this era of wrestling and this time in wrestling when Luger wore this the most out of all this, if you can believe that. Like I said, his legendary feud with Stan Hansen, I was all in on that as a kid. But I don't know, it just doesn't feel that special, this Lex Luger. It's special, we got him in the line, it's special, it's a WCW one, but it's reused from an old basic head, and it is a very plain Jane body. Maybe the U.S. title would have been great as a little added something to it. Just, it felt like it needed a little bit more pizzazz. It felt like it's just missing a little bit of something. Still have to have this in my collection. It has to be on the WCW shelf. It's just maybe not as special as some of the other ones. So we're going to leave it at that. And so we're at the final 2 here. And it's a little bit crazy. This is a crazy set as a whole here. But number 2, I'm going the regular edition Lex Luger. Can you believe it? I never would have guessed in a million years I'd like this one more than this one. But this new head sculpt, and like I said, Lex Luger's hair, because I'm a hair aficionado, what can I say? I always liked his look here with the slicked back hair in a ponytail. Always thought it looked really good. Once again, the soft goods do help the presentation of this one. I think that's something this one's missing, and I'm not sure what you could do. I'm sure there's a shirt they could have got on Lex Luger, one of those old school 90s WCW shirts or something like that. But this one just looks good. And then the red and black really do pop. You can add it to your NWO shelf, which is always fun to complete more team members, things like that. Just a lot of ways this one has things going for it, where this one's just kind of on his own, a little bit plain Jane. And that's just kind of the difference there. Both fabulous figures, though, I will say that. So that leaves X-Pac at number 1. And part of the reason is, like I said with this Lex Luger, it's great because we're filling out a team. And I think that's probably what brought this one all the way up to the top over this Lex Luger is you need that DX invasion, the DX army. And this was the missing piece. So it was great to get this one. It's nice to get X-Pac as a 2-in-1 figure as well. You take all this off, you got a good plain Jane X-Pac for your shelf. So you get a 2-in-1 figure in the same package, which is really cool. I mean, no different than this one, of course. But then we talked about soft goods and some of that just adding to the presentation. Man, this adds. Obviously, we've seen these army pants before, but it's still cool. It's soft goods, army pants, looks really good. The jacket, absolutely fabulous. Great for customizers, great on this figure as well. The one thing I will harp on that I do not like is the Polly Pocket shirt underneath when everybody else got soft goods. That has to be fixed. That will be fixed on my shelf. But besides that, it's really cool to at least get a shirt in there as well. Then you get glasses and a helmet. Yes, it's all reuse. Yes, we've seen a lot of that stuff before. But this is a heck of a presentation. Being a 2-in-1 figure, tons of soft goods, tons of accessories, and a good-looking figure. You know this is Sean Waltman. You know this is X-Pac all day long. It's got a lot going for it. Now, is he my favorite wrestler of this group? By no means. I probably like Lex Luger is my favorite out of this group, then probably Kane, then probably X-Pac. But X-Pac, with all these things he's got going for him, finishing the DX invasion angle figure set, whatever you want to call it, just enough going for this one to make this number 1 on my top 5 countdown of Legends Series 15. As a whole, I wouldn't say it's the strongest Legends set. I got a feeling Stacy Keibler is going to peg warm extremely hard. I might get 2 more of these if she goes down to like $5.99. And who are we fooling? If Mean Mark can go down to $5.99, there's no fooling that Stacy Keibler could go down to $5.99. So I might get 2 more of her for some customs and display both heads, things like that at the $5.99 price point. Kane, I think, will sell through okay. You might see a little bit of Lex Luger out there, probably not the Chase version, and I think you might see a good amount of X-Pacs out there as well. So I don't know if this is a home run slam dunk set, but it's a transitional set is kind of what it feels like to me. But it's figures I think we really needed. We've been wanting Stacy Keibler for a long time. We've been wanting things like Lex Luger. We want to finish the DX Army. And then Kane, hey, big guy, mask, face paint underneath the mask. Hey, you know that people are all in on that kind of stuff. So it is a good set, but it just kind of feels like it's a set that's just there. But this should be hitting your Target stores right now. If you don't see it in your traditional toy aisle, make sure you're looking at all the end caps around the store because there's a summer collector con display they got going on, and I've seen pegs of all these guys out there and about. So be looking for your displays. You should be able to come across these. And you long game players, you might be able to get a deal on a few of these if you are patient out there. So what do you think about Legends Series 15? Did I hit anything? Did I miss anything? Do you think I'm right? Do you think I'm wrong? Do you have your top 5 list? Put it in the comments down below and let me know your thoughts on the Chase Lex Luger while you're at it as well. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, hit the old notification bell, and give this video a good old thumbs up. You made it this far, you might as well. Follow along on Patreon for early access to videos, bonus content, monthly giveaways, and best of all, you get to support the channel. You can also support the channel at ProWrestlingTees.com, search Kyle Peterson, and then hit me up and follow along over there on social media, SirPaul64 on Twitter, Instagram, _Kyle_Peterson. So for Series 15 Target Legends, I am Kyle. I'll see you guys all real soon.